Hello, and welcome to Convinced Catholicism, a place for all things Catholic. Today, I have a great publication for you. It is the Douay Rheims Bible by Baronius Press. A lot of people look at this Bible or look for this Bible, and they want it to be their permanent, everyday Bible. And I gotta say, I totally see why. It's a wonderful, wonderful Bible. And on top of all that's great about this is it's the compact or pocket version. Now, for regular viewers of the show, you know that I am strict about what makes it to pocket or not. You know, to me, this is pocket size. We can see the size comparison here, right? Now, I understand that it's hard to make a pocket Bible, so I would say that this kind of falls into that category. I will make an exception to my very already strict guidelines. And yeah, this is a wonderful, wonderful Bible. So let's get into it. So first of all, for those who do not know, the Douay Rheims is a translation from the Latin Vulgate that is older than the King James. Okay, King James is kind of considered the standard thee, thou, and ye translation into English, and it's considered the greatest, right? If you look here, the New Testament, first published by the English College at Rheims, A.D. 1582. Old Testament, first published by the English College at Douay, A.D. 1609. So the Rheims New Testament and the Douay Old Testament turn into the Douay Rheims. And this is, so this has been within the Catholic Church for a long time. All right. And this publication's from 2012, although this copy is new, I would say. This edition is from 2022, but the original is from 2003, actually. All right, so this is a fairly new copy. I got this for Christmas, for those who may not have known. Okay, and Baronius is a wonderful publisher. They make all kinds of volumes and editions in these nice high-quality leather. The binding is great. And it's a lot of traditional Catholic publications that are done in sort of this heirloom quality, and this is no exception. This Bible is wonderful. Let me show you what they mean by pocket, because, like I said, obviously this will not fit into a pocket. This will fit into a backpack or a purse, though certainly without any trouble. So, I'm left-handed. So this is 4.5 inches wide, 7 inches tall, and then probably, probably about 1.5 inches or 2 inches. Yeah, okay, so almost 1 3/4 inches wide. So this is somewhat compact, I would say. This is definitely a portable and travel-sized Bible. So if we open up here, and of course this has the deuterocanonical books, or known to the Protestants as the Apocrypha. So if we look here, open it up, from here you can see that it's 2-column text, and we also see that the text for the pocket size is pretty standard size. For more, I guess, nearsighted people, this font size will be a little too small, but it's very clear. It's very distinct. And you can see that the bleed through is almost non-existent. People will see it, certainly, especially when there isn't any text, but it's very faint. You can very clearly see that this is not a cheap paper. The paper stock is rather thick for the size of the book. So let's go to Genesis and we'll see how it reads. This is Genesis chapter 2. Okay, so first of all, each chapter has a little bit of a parenthesis explanation. So it says, chapter 2, God resteth on the seventh day and blesseth it, the earthly paradise in which God placeth man. He commandeth him not to eat the tree of knowledge, and formeth a woman from his rib. And so let's read the first verse here. Or the first, let's say 3 verses. So the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the furniture of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. And he blessed the seventh day, and from all his work which God created man. These are the new generations of heaven and earth, when they were created in the day that the Lord God made the heaven and the earth. And every plant of the field before it sprung up in the earth, and every herb of the ground before it grew, for the Lord had not rained upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the earth. And so on and so forth, right? So you can see that this is a much more, I guess you could say, old style of writing or speaking, but at the same time, it's not so, I guess you could say, pretentious and full of the these and thous that it would make readers who are sensitive to that, I guess you could say, more annoyed, right? So this is a good, balanced Bible for those who like old style language, classical style of the English language, and for those who prefer more modern style of talking. So you can see here in another example, this is Gospel of Matthew, chapter 3, verses, let's just say 5 through 10. Then went out to him Jerusalem and all Judea and all the country about Jordan, and were baptized by him in the Jordan, confessing their sins. And seeing many of the Pharisees and Sadducees coming to his baptism, he said to them, Ye brood of vipers, who hath showed you to flee from the wrath to come? Bring forth therefore fruit worthy of penance, and think not to say within yourselves, We have Abraham for our father. For I tell you that God is able of these stones to raise up children to Abraham. For now the axe is laid to the root of the trees. Every tree, therefore, that doth not yield good fruit shall be cut down and cast into fire. So we can see that it's sort of a mix between classical English, that Elizabethan style, but also a more modern, more readable text. So we have an idea of what the translation is like. Now, what makes this Baronius Press edition different from others? I would say it has to do with the artwork and resources and the other supplies that it is published with. So, for example, we see these black and white engraving style illustrations that have these, I guess you could say, symbolic or artistic interpretations of the scripture. So obviously, this is the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. And it has the passage that it's based off of. And then we also see Noah and his family enter the ark, and we can see the animals 2 by 2. Abraham is blessed by Melchizedek, and so on and so forth. So we can see that there are several examples of art in the text, or text created into art, and they're quite beautiful. And this is a throwback or a callback, I guess you could say, to when people in the church were illiterate, which was for quite some time, considering the fact that, the church kind of established formal higher education with universities. We can see the crucifixion of the Lord, right? So this is a callback, I guess you could say, to the time where the church was illiterate and used imagery, iconography, and paintings and symbolism to teach the church. We also have some colored illustrations here. We have a map of, I guess you could say, the ancient world. It's a little bit hard to pick up on the camera, but we can see that this is Europe and Asia. We can see that this is the Assyrian Empire, Armenia, Assyria, etc. The Holy Land, right here. We can see that this is the Sinai Desert, Egypt, so on and so forth. The 12 tribes of Israel, and it goes on and on. Sea of Galilee, which is, of course, most important to Christ's mission. And then we can also see the template of the Temple of Jerusalem, in which the temple era of Jerusalem was conducted. And then also, and this is not necessarily unique to this Bible or this publisher per se, but we also have these, where are they? They're here. This table of reference, the historical index, and so on, right? And it's right after the book of Revelation or the book of Apocalypse, and it has all the chronological and historical aspects of the Bible and the New Testament and so on and so forth. And there's also, as you probably saw on the bottom, these references. So not only is there references that relate the passage you're reading to other passages that you can check for reference, but also somewhat of a study note. I would not call this a study Bible by any way, but notice that it says, for example, verse 39, which is referring to the Gospel of John, verse 39, let's see it here. Search the scriptures, for you think in them to have life everlasting, and the same are they that give testimony of me. Or you search the scriptures, and it says scrutamini, which it also has the Greek translation. It is not a command for all to read the scriptures, but a reproach to the Pharisees, that reading scriptures as they did, thinking to find everlasting life in them, they would not receive him, to whom all those scriptures gave testimony, and through whom alone they could have that true life. So it has a little bit of an explanatory note. And again, this is not a study Bible per se. This is more for your own reference, because of course the language is not exactly how we speak English today. But I would recommend the Douay Rheims, first and foremost, as a great translation of the Bible that goes back even before the King James, or the authoritative version, according to the Church of England or many other Protestants. I would also recommend Baronius Press. And I personally have it in this size, but they have two other sizes as well. I want to remind everyone that Convinced Catholicism has a locals page in which people can give their monthly support. It has an Amazon wish list in which people can purchase books in order for me to receive and review, and that would help the show out a lot. You can also subscribe. We're almost at 500 subscribers, and at 1,000, YouTube will start supporting the show through the partnership program. So I would really appreciate if you just for free helped that effort out. And I also will put a link to this book in the description, one from the publisher, and if there's an Amazon link available, one from Amazon. The Amazon link is an affiliate link, and it will help the show through a very, very small commission. Thank you very much. Take care, and God bless.